With Doubtnut, get instant video solutions to all your maths, physics, chemistry, and biology doubts. Just click the image of the question, crop the question, and get instant video solution. Download Doubtnut app today.
In this question, we are asked that which of the following plant prevent autogamy but not geitonogamy, right? So we simply discuss what the autogamy is and what the geitonogamy is. So both of them are a type of self-pollination, right? Both of them are a type of the self-pollination. So first of all, if we discuss what the autogamy is, so it is that type of the self-pollination wherein the pollen is transferred from the anther of a flower to the stigma of the same flower, right? Here the pollen transferred to this stigma of the same flower, right? So this is the autogamy. Now we discuss what the geitonogamy is. So here the transfer of pollen occurs to the stigma of another flower, right? Of the stigma, right, to the stigma of the another flower, but that another flower is on the same plant, right? On the same plant. So the only difference between the two is that in case of the autogamy, what is actually happening, that this complete transfer is occurring within the same flower, right? The transfer of pollen grain is occurring within the same flower's stigma. In case of the geitonogamy, the pollen is transferred to the stigma of another flower, and that another flower is on the same plant. So autogamy and geitonogamy both are these type of the self-pollination. Right, now the options given to us are the Vallisneria. So Vallisneria is basically an aquatic plant and it is unisexual, right? So basically in case of the Vallisneria, cross pollination occurs, right? In case of the Vallisneria, cross pollination occurs where water acts as the pollinating agent. So it has nothing to do with the autogamy and the geitonogamy, right? Which are the type of the self pollination. So this option we will not be considering here. Then papaya is simply bisexual, right? So papaya flowers, they are bisexual, so they, in them autogamy cannot be prevented because both the sex organs will be present in a flower. So how will the autogamy will be prevented? Then in case of the castor, so in case of the castor, we can prevent autogamy, but geitonogamy cannot be prevented. The reason being, it is, although the unisexual flowers, right, it although bears the unisexual flowers, but the flowers that bear by the castor plant, right, they are unisexual, which basically means that one flower bears the female flowers and one plant bears the male flowers, right? So here the sexes, the flowers are separated. So in that case autogamy will be prevented because they are the unisexual, they bear the unisexual flowers, the castor plant bear the unisexual flowers, right? Because of which the autogamy will be prevented, but geitonogamy cannot be, right? Because in this case the pollen can be transferred, right, from one flower to another on the same plant or on the different plant. So in that case, so in case of the castor, autogamy can be prevented but not the geitonogamy. So this is also wrong. And now the cannabis, it also bears the bisexual flowers. So as we have discussed the case of the papaya, same as with the cannabis, that autogamy cannot be prevented, right? For that reason the option 3 is our correct answer here, right? So in the case of the castor, because it bears the unisexual flowers, so autogamy can be prevented as pollen will not be transferred to the stigma as the flower bears only one of the sex organ, right? And geitonogamy cannot be prevented, but autogamy can be prevented, but geitonogamy can't, because if the flower bears the anther, then in that case the pollen will be transferred from that flower to the another flower that bears the stigma or the female reproductive structure on the same plant itself. So in that case we cannot prevent the geitonogamy in case of the castor. So hence the option 3 is the correct answer here, right?
For class 6 to 12, IIT JEE and NEET level. Trusted by more than 5 crore students. Download Doubtnut app today.